another edition of Debatable here on GodIsAGeek.com. My name is Colm and it's been yet another week where people have been fucking up all over the place. And Sea-Dog has to call him out, so let's get this show started, shall we? There is no better way than to distract everyone from your broken game by leaking images of the next game, which is coming out in fall of 2015. That's exactly what Ubisoft did this past week. And look, I mean, they've been a staple of the show since the very beginning. And like, the fuck, I really don't want to talk about Ubisoft again. Aha. I have an idea. Fuck it! It's Christmas! Get that Shakin' Stevens on the wireless. It was December 24th, 1997, and a young, chubby, fat, let's be honest, boy was trying his hardest to get to sleep because he knew when he woke up the following day, St. Nick of the North Pole would have been and gone, but not without leaving some gifts behind. That chubby/fat little boy who grew up to be charming and handsome and suave and debonair and caring had sold his Sega Mega Drive and his collection of over 20 video games in order to afford the must-have console at the time, the Sony PlayStation. At first they were extortionately expensive but had come down in price enough where the rotund fella could afford one. His parents had purchased Darkstalkers and Road Rash in a far and distant land called Spain because they got them for half nothing. But the real joy would come when he rolled the fat away from his eyes on Christmas morn, hurtled down the hallway almost causing the house's foundations to move, and burst through the front door to see Formula 1 97, FIFA 98 and Crash Bandicoot under the tree. Sheer bliss. PlayStation just celebrated their 20th birthday. Yes, 20 years of Sony video game machine console entertainment system things. Originally out in Japan and then North America and Europe and everywhere else soon after, the PlayStation changed the landscape of video games. Genuinely, it did. In 1986, Sony and Nintendo were in talks about partnering up to usher in a new era in video games. In 1988, it was all sorted and Sony were to develop a CD-ROM add-on for the SNES called SNES CD. At CES 91, Nintendo president at the time, Hiroshi Yamauchi, read over the contract again the day before it was to be revealed to the world and decided that it was handing over too much power to Sony, as Sony themselves would have the majority of say over games for the CD-ROM add-on. So the deal was called off and Nintendo decided to get in bed with Philips instead and release the CDI. Good fucking move. The sequel's legacy is like no other. Literally, it's like nothing because it's the best-selling console of all time. Over its lifespan, the PlayStation 2 sold over 155 million units worldwide. That's more than the Wii, more than 360, more than the Game Gear. It's the console that cemented Sony as more than a one-hit wonder, even when people said they weren't a hardware company, huh? Well, yeah, then the PlayStation 3 came out. Many people left the shop with faulty consoles only to take them home and see the yellow light of death, and that was after paying an outrageous amount of money for the thing. The online was shit. It was a massive machine. The UI wasn't as easy to navigate as that on the 360. Yeah, wasn't a great start. But great exclusives turned it around for them, and by the end of the generation, they were nipping at Microsoft's heels. They're a staple now. It's hard to imagine the world of video games without Sony in it. But, I mean, it can always fall for anyone. A couple of years back, it was hard to imagine a world of video games without Sega producing consoles. Poor Sonic. Their impact on the industry is unquestionable, and the memories they've given us because of the games released on all four consoles are wonderful. I know regular viewers probably expected me to talk about maybe the Game Awards or Assassin's Creed Victory, but look, it's Christmas, and I wanted to spread a bit of Christmas cheer, you know? And bring up memories of that large young boy, very large, he was a large young boy. And the day he unwrapped his presents and saw Formula 197. What a game. There's even Free Radical Games demo with G-Police, Overboard, Colony Wars and Shadow Master. Fucking radical. And now it's time for my favourite part of the show where you get to voice your opinion on what I said in the previous episode of Debatable and what I said in the previous episode of Debatable was about Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and how fucking good it is. Genuinely, it's a really, really great game. And I asked you about your opinion and what you wanted to say to me about Call of Duty, whether you thought the series was unjustly ridiculed or rightly so. So let's turn on our 2120 vision and have a look at what you said. We have a comment from Riamau. Riamau, thank you very much for commenting. Riamau says, great debatable, Colm. Good taste. I've been a fan of COD since Modern Warfare 2. And I love the big cinematic Hollywood feel that most COD campaigns gives you, that you will never get anywhere else. And the fast-paced, twitchy gameplay of the multiplayer is unlike any other FPS shooter. I don't really understand all the blind hipster hate the series gets, especially when there are hundreds of other franchises, annual or not, that do less to differentiate themselves between releases. Terrific point, Riamau. Thank you very much for commenting. Now, as I'm sure you've noticed, a bit of a shorter episode of Debatable this week. Mainly because Christmas is coming up. So that's why I wanted to have a nice little, nostalgic kind of, that's lovely episode of Debatable. Because things are happening. God is geeking. There's it's Game of the Year time. People are trying to, try and play as many video games as you possibly can. Because, we're going to be having our Game of the Year deliberations pretty soon. So this is the last episode of Debatable for a bit. Probably just this year, unless I might have time for one very tail end of the year, but more than likely it will be back next year. So thank you very much to everyone for watching the episodes of Debatable. You're all fucking brilliant people, and thanks very much for tweeting about it and stuff like that. But look, I still want to know your Christmas memories, alright? Just let me know in the comment section of this YouTube video, or on the article itself on godisgeek.com, or you can tweet me. Because everything I said on this show, on past shows and future shows, well look, it's just my opinion and my opinion alone. And as always, dear friends, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and it's always debatable.